So, I'm going to take some time today and go through some workflows. Don't let my desktop make you sick. Skip this part. And so for the first part, let me get a cursor here. We're going to go to my account because I've been splitting off my tattoo stuff and I kind of have just set this up. So over here in the opportunities tab is where you're going to be able to slide people to the next stage in the game if that's how you want to work with them. I used to think it was just an organizational thing. It's not. It's very useful, but you gotta be updating your opportunities and kind of know what that is. So what's important is when we're setting everything up, we want to make sure that we are really taking the time to understand your client's your customer journey, right? What your customer goes through to get to you, what their whole life cycle through your business looks like. And we want to be cognizant of this and we want to plan accordingly, right? And so that is what a pipeline is. And so there's different pipelines here for different reasons. For the purposes of this discussion, we're going to talk about the tattoo pipeline. And so these are kind of the steps that people go through, and this is they've shown interest, they've filled out the Zoom interview, or maybe they filled out the want to do form. People don't necessarily go through all of these steps. There's different entry and exit points. Then we've had the consultation, then maybe they canceled an appointment, maybe we've done a Zoom call. Then we do a second consult if I want to see them in the shop or if we need to talk a second time to continue to plan. Then I have a section where I'm approving or denying a project. Based upon whether I approve or deny the project, we send a calendar link or a denial letter. Once we send the calendar link, we hope to get the appointment set. At which point they will pay the deposit because it's attached to the calendar. Then we're going to set up our reminders. We're going to have a couple of workflows that are just for tattoo day. We want to know what happens when somebody shows or no shows. Then we're going to decide what to do if people no show. Nurture, that would be like if somebody doesn't show up, do you want to tell them, hey Bob, I hate you, never come back again? Or do you want to still try to get them in? And what I tend to do is I'm very polite about it, and there's an automated thing that is like, hey, I'd like to get you back in. We also add a tag that says no show. After the third time that has been added to you, it will trigger a do not disturb and you won't be able to contact us anymore. We're going to send a consent form. That consent form is going to trigger a follow-up. It also triggers a different little message that is going to be fun to talk about. And then getting people onto the birthdays or newsletter workflows. So that's basically all of it. Yours might look different, but the thing to think about is where did they find you at? Is it maybe they touched base on social media, then maybe they emailed you or came to your website, then maybe they, you want to find out how these people are getting to you, and then you can find out how they're getting lost, right? So shown interest, one of the easiest things to do, and I haven't set it up on this account yet, but you may have heard of ManyChat. And what we can do is set up a Facebook or Instagram comment automation. And so this was set up on a previous account, but it's enough to tell you. So when I post comment consult for a consultation. And then once you comment that, it sends a message, it asks a question, you have to say yes, no, or maybe. Let's see. In this case, they have buttons they're allowed to press. And it brings you to such a point that you get into a video consultation. This link will be bad at this point. That's okay. Yeah. So that's like our first workflow, right? And we don't have it set up here. To update the opportunity. In the tattoo pipeline. And the pipeline stage is shown interest. Right. And we're trying to get them over to your Zoom form. So what we're doing here is we're responding to their comment. Awesome, I'm sending a DM. Dope, I'm going to DM. Rad, check your inbox. You can add more of these and it'll cycle through them. Then it sends a message. Hey, thanks for your interest. Would you say your project is something small that you have an image for and just need an appointment, or something more personal that you need an artist to design? So this was for the studio before, and I'm going to rewrite it for myself. Are you much So I consult a bunch of different ways, but my favorite is video consultations. Are you pretty much ready to book, or would you want to boom? So then you're going to put your links here. So I want to book some tattoo time. Let's do actually, I want to do a consultation. Consult with artists. And ready to tattoo. I wonder why this button isn't letting me do it. Ready to tattoo. Open website. We're gonna get a different address over here, so you want to publish this because that will automatically save it. And we are coming. I don't think there's a booking page. But there is a calendar that we're sending them people to. So we're going to go to calendars, calendar settings. Video consultations. Copy. That's the link we want here. And then people will go to the calendar, pick their date that they want to have their discussion, put in their name and their email, and then a different workflow will trigger. Let me get to that. And so this is also the link that if you click any booking button on my site, it's all the same place, right? So you want to get this button ultimately into a tag that says booking link. And I probably actually have it. Anyway, we'll leave it for now. Then the person can either click a button or go to the next step. I wonder why this is not. Yeah, so let's do consult with an artist ready to tattoo. Oh. And ready to tattoo, there's none. Save. Okay, cool. So consult with an artist, they'll just bounce out because they're going to click the button and go somewhere else. If they say they're ready to tattoo, then we ask them, awesome, great choice. I'm trying something new with my consultations. Brad, let's get you over to. Rad, let's get you over to my booking calendar, and then I'll get in touch via text. Yes, please. I wonder why this doesn't add up to 2 buttons and users can interact with. Define the button's actions for your workflow. I wonder why this is not letting me define these actions. You rock. This is the link to book. I use SMS to streamline connections. After this appointment is booked, I'll be in touch with you. Yeah, awesome, cool. And this would be my calendar, right? My tattoo calendar. And we only want to give them, because we have done no conversation here, we want to only book this full day calendar and make sure we get the maximum deposit. I would rather talk to people and go through Zoom, but we'll get to that part. Copy this, put this over here, and now when it's having these messages, it's sending people to my booking, right? And so those people can either do a consultation up here, or they can say they're ready to do a tattoo and get to my tattoo booking days, right? Which I don't know if I'll have it that way, or if I kind of just want to stop it here and send them to Zoom. But depending on how you want to do it, there's multiple ways to set these things up. So I'm not going to make this publish yet, because I want to come in here and look at now what happens once the let's actually look at the calendars. So over here in the calendar settings, we have video consultation calendar set up. And so what we're going to do here, or what we've done, this should not be here. Just call, this will book a Zoom call. This allows face-to-face meeting anywhere in the world. Just call. There should be a label. Here we go. Account, phone. Copy this. paste that. And then now if we ever update this phone number and we update it at the right spot, it will update everywhere else where you ever put it by using that, right? If you have it typed in everywhere, then you would need to go into each calendar and update that. So we're going to save this. Hey, buddy. Are you okay? I need you to chill. Okay. And then down here at forms and payment, what we have is there's a specific form connected to this. And so they click on that link in a bunch of different places they could get to that link. And it will bring them to a calendar. And they will have a date and time selector first. And then they will have a form. And that form will be this form. Okay? And then what we have going from there is the people will come over here to a automation. We'll go over all of these today, right? So this is going to be the Zoom workflow. And so what happens is, if the form was submitted, if it came from Montana Tattoo Company, then we've already done an in-depth consultation, and I don't have to do all this stuff. And so we wait, and then we remove the tag. And if it's not from MTC, then what we do is we're going to update the opportunity so that it's in the right part of the pipeline. It's in the tattoo pipeline at opportunity name, pipeline stage, Zoom form in. Actually, we're probably at the Zoom consultation stage. We're going to assign it to the user. So for me, we always want everything assigned to me. For what I'm talking to you guys about right now, setting up a personal single independent artist account, just make everything set to you. That's the easiest way to do it. Oops, let's go ahead and scoot out. Then we want to wait for a few minutes, 7 minutes I put in here. And then we have an opener, right? And the opener is, hey, first name, I'm the booking agent for Mickey Schlick. I saw you booked a Zoom call. I need to gather a bit more information from you. Can I ask you a couple of questions so that he can be a bit better prepared? Just say yes whenever you are ready. Whenever you are ready. Cool. And then we have a wait step in here and we're waiting for the people to reply to this. And then there's a couple things that can happen here. Their intent type is positive or yes. Their intent type is not negative, so maybe something happened and it's just not clear what they're saying in case we're going to put it through anyway. And when none of the conditions are met, then we wait and go through it. But if they say no, if it's a clear no, then we just end the workflow. They keep the appointment and we end the workflow. So if they say yes or get here through waiting, then I ask them, awesome, let's start with location. What city are you out of? And we update that information in their contact field, right? So we wait for the reply. And then when they reply, we update their contact field. Then we ask their placement. And what we're doing here is we're controlling, let's say, cool. Where are you wanting to put this piece and how big are you thinking? And what we're doing here is we're controlling the flow of the conversation, because if you just say, what do you want? Then the people are going to steamroll you with a ton of different things, right? And that's not great for anybody. So then we're going to wait for the reply. Again, we're going to update the contact field with whatever they say. Then we're going to ask them about style. We're going to wait. They're going to reply. Yeah, we're good. Then we're going to ask description. Now for the fun stuff. What is the specific subject matter you want to get? Like, is it birds? Is it a boat? That sort of thing. Please remember that the worst thing you can put into any tattoo is "and." Mashing too many ideas into one tattoo is not good for the overall look or longevity. But as far as the actual subject matter, I'm pretty flexible. He's. We're going to just do this in third person and say he's pretty flexible. Save the action. Wait for the contact reply. Update the field with the message body. Wait again for a minute. Ask, okay, sweet, I'm going to take all this and be ready for our Zoom consult. I will put all this together and he will be ready for your... I will put all of this together and he will be ready for your Zoom console. Let's say hypothetically he can make you something that's absolutely perfect, better than you hoped. Do you have any time or budget constraints that he would need to worry about? And that kind of asks, where they are. Sometimes I like to talk about budget, sometimes I don't. For the last bunch of years, I've hated talking about budget because I just don't want to get into the money conversation because that makes me have to value myself. But what I've noticed is that the more upfront you are about your pricing, the less people ask you about your pricing and the less of a problem it is. So I would just say, take that for what it's worth. Save action, save the whole thing. Put all this together and be ready for a Zoom. Update the field. But what field is it? And what alarm is going on? I'll come back and get this and we can move on. Nice. All right, here we go. So now we have the Zoom workflow, right? Oh, that's what we just did. I need to change this. The update contact fields are not all right. Select field. What was the question? Placement. Tattoo size and placement. Cancel. Save. Yeah, message body. What are you doing? Tattoo description. We might have changed it for your guys, but always look for custom fields before you make new ones. Other constraints, and we're going to update other constraints. Extra notes. So let's do, get rid of this. Custom fields, website. Questions for us. Boom. Message body. Close enough. You can also make a field that is dedicated for that. Then we're going to say, cool, here's your Zoom link, here's your appointment start time, here is your meeting ID, your passcode, and what we want to do is add in here appointment, add to Google Calendar, appointment, add to the other calendars, evil iCloud. We're going to do the rescheduling and the cancellation link. Save. Boom. And so that's good to go. And so what that'll do is, this is a controlled series of text messages that essentially does the basics of the consult, right? I'm going to do the whole consult via video. The reason I like to use video is because the video can take notes for you, and I can share my screen and I can draw on my screen and that sort of thing. So that's step 2. And we've updated the opportunity here to be in the pipeline stage for Zoom consultations. And then they're going to get approved or denied, right? And normally what will happen is at this cancel, save. And so at that point I have an approve or deny. And I will normally manually just send them the proper appointment time. If you need a full day booking, if you need a half day booking, if you need a couple days. I do all that at once. When they pay their deposit, where are we back over here on calendars, right? Forms and pay. Let's go to full day tattoos, edit the calendar. So in my full day calendar, when there's the calendar somewhere and it shows the description, it shows, this will book you a full day of tattooing with me. This is currently the only option for booking any amount of tattoo time. For artwork, questions, or other discussions, please contact me through the shop phone or text system. Tattoo appointment deposit policy. And so what I would recommend, and what I've done over in this account, get out of here, is I have put into these custom values my deposit policy. Your spot is locked in with X retainer for full day sessions, or blank for anything shorter. This deposit applies straight to your final bill. And you put whatever you want in here, and then anywhere that needs your deposit policy, you just put this thing. And then that way, if you ever change your deposit policy, you change it here, and it updates everywhere else, right? You can change your pricing, you can change whatever else when you're using custom values, because it's going to update everywhere for you dynamically, whether that's newsletters, funnels, websites, calendars, whatever it is. That's why you want to make sure that information goes in the right place, because if you start building everything out and you're not putting the right things in the right place, then it's just so much more work, right? You're going to do the work a bunch of more times at first, then eventually you're going to figure out that this is a great way to do it. If you come back to it, it's going to be that much more work. It's so much easier to just, anything that's like a policy, or the days a week that you work, or your phone number, or your address, or anything, get that in custom values, Zoom links, things like that. That way you can just use the short code and get it in there. Zoom. Yeah, so consent form is done, client is here. Okay, so I get a ton of reminders because I'm very forgetful. So I have the calendar give me 3 reminders, and I have this workflow give me a bunch of reminders. So if a client has booked an appointment, oh, that's what I was going to show you. Here at Forms and Payment, you can say, my total amount for the day is this much. To pay a deposit, you must pay this much. And it is very clear. It says everything to them. It invoices them for the whole $1,250. It only takes $250. I can then make the invoice whatever I want as I send it to them. So they book, they pay the deposit. It gets assigned to me. They get removed from all workflows. We update their opportunity that they're in the reminder stage. We add a tag to them that says they're a current client of mine. 1 week out of their appointment, depending on how far I'm booked out, I change this. Sometimes it's 1 week, sometimes it's 2 weeks. Then we send me a notification that says, hey, and excuse the language in here, these are messages to myself, so sometimes I'm pretty ruthless. You have blank coming in a week for their blank piece. Make sure you do whatever you need to make it awesome. We're trying to level up here. Just a little reminder to me to keep it going, and it can have the name, the description. We can put placement pictures, whatever we want here. So let's actually do that. Reference photos. Reference photos too. Cool. And we're not going to worry about it much outside of that. And so what I do is I send myself a text and I send myself a notification inside the app. If I click on it in that app, then it goes directly to the conversation with the client. The client gets an email at this stage as well. Just checking in as we have about a week to go. I have a couple of more reminders. I don't really want to do this as an email, but that'll be fine. Let's do more personal. Contact, first name, exclamation point. Me again. Just checking in. We have about a week to go. I have a couple of more reminders coming to you as we get closer, but if anything has come up since we booked, this is the best time to take care of it without losing the deposit. Otherwise, I'll see you in about a week, and hopefully we'll be getting you all the info you could possibly need at exactly the right time. It's also worth noting we charge a 3% transaction fee on card transactions, so I'd just like to be clear on that in case you would rather bring cash. I'm not even requesting it, I'm just listing it as an option. I'm informing the client of my charge, of my practice. Then there's rescheduling cancellation links in case they need it. Then we wait until 72 hours before the appointment. Same deal. We're going to save this action. Save this. I get 2 notifications. Client gets a reminder. Now in this reminder email, they get a hey blank, hey first name, your appointment is in 72 hours. I'm as excited as you are. Here's some info worth knowing, and it's a link to a web page that I have, and on that web page there's a video that discusses, hey, it's 72 hours out, maybe you want to bring cash, here's what you need to know, maybe slow down on drinking, maybe get a good meal before you come, all that stuff. And then we wait until 90 minutes before the appointment. But what I'm thinking of doing is waiting. I'm thinking of adding a step here. I would wait for a time delay of their appointment's going to probably be at 1 o'clock. before. What if we did 20 hours? Before their appointment. That's going to put it around 4 or 5 o'clock. No, what are you doing? Move to the next step. And then here, we're going to put a call. I don't know what the difference between these two is. Manual call. Nope, that's for sure not what I want. And so, yeah, we're gonna want to just call whisper. You have let's actually just do contact first name. We'll pretend that's Jasper. You have Jasper tomorrow doing a, and we're gonna do tattoo description. No, what are you doing? Contact. Save, but we're gonna come up here and get this and bring it back down here. You should give them a ring. And what this is this is going to call me. And when I pick it up, it's going to say, you have Jasper tomorrow doing a dove and antelope tattoo. You should give them a ring. And if I push the button, it'll connect me to them. And then they'll be there and I'll say, hey man, how's it going? You know, ready to hang out tomorrow and introduce myself. And you know, I've already spoken to them at this point. But I think that's a nice step. I don't know if I will be doing that all the time. And we're going to call this timeout after like 25 seconds. And we could time this so that if all of my appointments start at 1, that I wait for 19 hours before the appointment. That put me somewhere around 5 or somewhere around 6. That's fine. Let's do 20. I'm more likely to miss it. And then we have an internal notification. Hey, this guy is in an hour and 30 minutes. Just so that I never have any excuses. And then, hey, I send the first name again. It's, guess what? Today's the day. We're going to say their name. Hopefully you've seen the emails and are ready for your day. If not, please check. You have an appointment in 90 minutes. I'll be trying to make things... So this might be a little bit redundant. I'm going to maybe take this call out for now, but it is a good option to randomly call clients. And so I will play with this and share with you guys when I do. And then, so hopefully you've seen the get rid of this. Today is the day. Hopefully you've seen the emails and are ready for your day. If not, please, you don't need to be early, but if you're going to be late, then please let me know. Here's a short video I prepared, and this also goes to a page that has a video on it and some other instructions, including, in my case, I don't like people to be early, so I ask for people not to be early. Cool, so we can save that. And that's our appointment reminders, bringing us to the day of the tattoo. Let's see. So, on the day of the tattoo, there's a workflow called, let's see, client needs attention, website chatbot. It's none of these is in here. Appointment no show, no leads, no show, no call, no show, trigger link. It's not this. So clicking this tattoo approve button is going to trigger the workflow that allows them to book the appointment. And then I think that I don't know if it's in here. Okay, well, let's make it. So follow-ups and reminders. Appointment confirmation and reminders. Let's just go down here because it's all part of this together. Wait. Event appointment time. Exact time. And at this exact time, we do an internal notification to, and it's going to be a text message to a particular user. That user is me. And we're going to say your contact first name, actually contact full name, should be here. Have you ever forgotten your client's name during your appointment? Well, what if their name showed up on your phone as they were supposed to be walking in, right? Their name should be here. The tattoo is tattoo description. Placement. Budget. If it's in there. I don't have it. Okay. Image. Photo. Client is here. Client no show. Now, if there's any other episode here, if anything else happens, you're going to have to deal with that on your own. But for right now, we're focusing on, is the client here? Is the client a no-show? So we're going to use these trigger links that we've set up that the client showed or that the client no-showed. And these trigger links are going to trigger different workflows. So whatever you push there, if you push that they no-showed, then it's going to wait for a little bit, send them a text message that says, hey, it sends them a text and an email that says they lost their deposit and offers them the ability to book again. So we're going to save that. Let's go ahead and go through some of that stuff. Follow-up workflow, consent form is done. Oh yeah. Marketing workflows. So if a client no-call, no-shows, right, this is what happens. If you click the trigger link in the text message, it is going to add the tag to the client that they did a no-call, no-show. That's one workflow. That's all that's in there. But that is connected to another workflow. Once that tag gets added, it comes down to a condition. Have they done this before? Have they done this a bunch of times before or not? And so this is, do they have this tag? No call, no show once. If they don't have this tag, then it will add that tag. And then we remove this first tag so that it's not on there, so that it can be put on there again, triggering the workflow again, right? Then it checks to see if this tag's on here, and it does the same thing. It removes the previous tag and it gives the new tag. It actually removes both the previous tags and gives the new tag. If a person has this 3 times, then the message that we send at the end is, hey, unfortunately, this is the 3rd time we've gotten a no-call, no-show event with you. Moving forward, you'll need to communicate with your artist directly, and we are shutting down the ability to contact the shop as it is costing us more time and energy than we're able to spare. Please stop in and talk to Mickey if you have to change this. And hopefully that'll never ever come up, but in case it does, a lot of people worry about no-shows and no-calls. I am of the mind that we should be selling clients into the things that we want, and we should be getting them in. And the clients that are the least compliant, like, get your money. I'm not saying like do anything untoward to anybody. I'm just saying like set this up. I know it's annoying for you, but if this machine can be on its best behavior all the time, then you can still get it done. You just have to be cognizant of where's your line that you want to draw. But all you have to do is hit the button that the person no-showed, and you're not going to get an extra alert about that. It's just going to be the end of it. If the client showed, let's see, dream client sent from Montana Tattoo Company. Surprised there's not a showed. Alright, so appointments canceled. Client is here. Oh, here we go. Client is here. So when we click the trigger link for the client is here, it's going to update the opportunity that they are at the pipeline stage of tattoo day, right? It's tattoo day. We're about to do it. They're here. We're rocking and rolling. Almost there. This is the link to my consent paperwork. Please have a seat and take your time. We'll be working soon. So it lets people know. Please sit down. Fill out this form. Take your time. We're going to be going. I'm with you. It's all good. Then we're going to wait for 26 hours oh, we're adding to this. You guys are going to love this or you're going to hate it. So what I'm actually going to do is, this is in my workflows. So here, I'm going to wait 46 minutes because I'm usually deep into tattooing at this point, but not normally done. And then we're going to send an SMS. I hate, this is embarrassing. But the new trick on Instagram is to collaborate. If you are interested, please ask me now to name your piece. Oh. And then DM that to me on Insta. That will be the easiest way for me to find you right as I am posting. Boom. And this is just asking the client. So, obviously, like, word of mouth has always been the best, right? And that's part of what we do when we collaborate with shops, when we collaborate with brands. But if we do this with your clients too, then you're really reaching out to the people that are seeing your tattoos walking around out in the wild, right? And so this is embarrassing. The new trick on Instagram is collaborate. If you're interested, please let me know now. Please ask me now. Ask me now to name your piece and then DM me on Insta. The easiest way for me to find you right as I'm posting. Boom, perfect. And add me if you didn't. Yeah, if you haven't. And then you can put your Instagram or not, but this would be the place to put it. They cannot miss it. You can even put your Instagram address here, right? So like if you have your Instagram link, you just put that hot link there and it goes out in that message. Then we're going to wait another 26 hours is fine. And we want these messages, this is going to be the next day. And so we want these messages to go out every day, but only between the hours of 10 and 5. So that's what we have set up there. Confirm. We're going to update the opportunity. And now they are firmly in the follow-ups, because tattoo day already happened. So a lot of these pipeline changes and stuff you're not even going to see. Just like people are going to start at one side and they're going to end at the other. But you can also use them to move people along. So like if you can use the fact that you're moving somebody into the next pipeline over as a trigger to start these other workflows. So what you'll notice here is all I've done is I showed up and talked to my client. I sent them the link to book. I said whether they were here or not. Maybe I make a call to them the night before if you're super into it. Leaving you the maximum amount of time for any kind of creative anything, right? And then so we wait. We give them a, hey, just wanted to check in. This is 26 days. No. This is 24 hours after, right? So the next evening. Then we wait for 21 days, and then we check in. Hey, we're coming up on a month from the tattoo, from your tattoo, from your tattoo. I was wondering if I could check in on you and make a plan to follow up if needed. And if not, then maybe get a healed picture. Follow-up appointment here. Boom. And so there's a calendar specifically for, you know, this is essentially in-studio consultations, photo days. If I have to do a follow-up, like a short touch-up or something like that, then that all goes to this calendar. And boom. And now that client, we've already decided what all of our conversation with this client is going to be as far as the business and the tattoo. And we've only had a tattoo day, had a consultation, and clicked a couple of buttons on their way through, right? So that's awesome. What I would say is you got to really keep track of all your input points. So like, you want to check your forms every once in a while. You want to check your surveys every once in a while. You want to make sure that there's nothing getting between if the form triggers the workflow, you want to make sure that that is updated and maintained and that you're looking at it and checking it out. If you have a slowdown in clients, you might want to go look at some form submissions. You can do that right here. Sites, form submissions. And this will show you people that have filled out your forms, right? I don't have any in these forms, so that's that. And then let's go back to some of these automations. We're just at about an hour. And oh, we did this. Consent form is done. And we sent the thing. So I'm going to delete this. I'm going to delete the other one because this means that they sent the form in. So follow up. Okay, so this is what I did last night is I put the follow-ups on their own. And so now I have made this way too long. And this can be deleted. Boom. From here. Oh no, client is here. This is what we needed. Client is here. Client no showed. We're good. Cool. And then the follow-up workflow is separate. Consent form is done. Canceled appointment. If somebody cancels an appointment, we just send them a text to let them know. And then to reschedule, you can use the same appointment link as before, or text for a new link. Canceling this appointment has removed you from the appointment reminder workflows for all appointments, in case you had multiple. If you need your ongoing appointment schedule, or you want the reminders, please turn back on, please just say my schedule. Okay, and then there will be a workflow for this. Contact replies with my schedule. We don't want to actually really do that. Let's go. Let us know and we will get it for you. Boom. So if the tattoo is approved, so when you come to my website, there's a link. There's a link to consult with me. When you click that link, a pop-up opens up, and it has a calendar. The calendar is attached to a form that takes a little bit of information. Once that is turned in and that appointment is set, then I have a conversation workflow that talks to the client about their tattoo. Then I meet with the client on Zoom. Let's see what's up here. Hey, bud, we just finished up with discovery. Make sure all the boxes are checked. And then we want to wait. Set. Event start date. Custom field. Appointment. Start date. Should be start date and time somewhere. Alright, well, we could get back in and do it later. You can also copy from other places and put it in there. Sometimes the tags don't show every one of your options. So we're going to set the event start time, and then we're going to wait until the event appointment time, and we're just going to do 30 minutes before. Just move to the next step. And we're going to send myself a text. So it's an internal notification. And the type of notification is an SMS. The user type is a particular user. That user is me. And we're going to say full name, city, tattoo description, size, and that's about it. That'll get me enough to talk and to be talking to him. What's your size replacement? What are your other concerns, right? We asked. I should have put that under agenda. Notes. Appointment notes. Maybe. If not, I'll have to change the other workflow to go to that. But then, what that means is that 30 minutes before this appointment, I am getting all the information about the consultation in my lap to sit down with this person. Hey, you have a consultation in 30 minutes. Make it easy on yourself. You get to set the time, you get to set the pace, you get to do everything. And I just bounced out of there without saving that, I'm sure. So anyway, we're going to move on past that. My follow-up workflow. Checks in day 2. Follow-up photo day. And then, you have a ton of other reasons to do workflows, but as far as tattoo life, I mean, that's pretty much it, right? So with Montana Tattoo Company, you're going to have a couple extra ones, which is like, we want to set it up so that when a client books with you, it's seamless between the shop and your own system, right? The person can show up, talk to you, get the information they need, sign up, book, all that stuff. So there will be a couple of workflows that connect you to the shop and back and forth. And there will be a couple of things that you want to look at when you do your denial letter as a shop. If you're working here, well, if you're working at Montana Tattoo Company, I should say, we like it for when you in your denial letter, kick the people back to the shop. Say, hey, check out all the artists on the artist page and read the PDF of like how to get a good tattoo, because this is like where we're trying to take the community. And see what vibes, and if that doesn't vibe, then like, tell one of your friends, and we really hope that you get a great job and treated right, but we're not going to be able to take care of you this time around. So I think that's a big deal. But as far as like the majority of workflows, from figuring your clients your client pipeline, your client journey out, to hey, how are they contacting me, right? We want to make sure they contact you at one place if possible. I have a couple of places because normally I want to push people through the Zoom form, but I also have a wanna do page where I'll give like a little bit better deal. And if people come through that page, I want them to get handled a little bit differently. But at the end of the day, everything ends in the Zoom call and then goes on to regular reminders going up to the appointment and regular follow-ups, as well as me checking the messages. I want the follow-up to send to them at a regular pace, and I want it to say pretty much a consistent thing. And then they're going to write back, and it's going to be on me to reply to them, right? So that's what I want. I want to spur a natural conversation. I want to be in touch with people. I want to know that things are looking good, that people are happy, that we're, doing all that stuff. What I would add here is a review workflow, but really, you can do a few things with reviews. You can send people to Google, you can send people to Facebook, or you can collect them yourself. You need them in Google, Facebook, Yelp, like all those places, so you can like slowly build them up in those places. But if you have them on your site also, then you can put them, if you have them on your site, then you can display them on your site, right? So you're just telling people what other people have said. So you do want to collect reviews from happy clients. So what I do is I have a QR code that goes to my review form or a review link. And when the people come back for a photo and they're happy and everything is good and everything is awesome, I point out this QR code and I ask them to scan it and give me a review. If you have people in and they're having an awesome time, you can do the same thing and you just ask for a review, have them scan the thing, and there you go, they're happy to do it. So from getting your client in to following up with them and trying to nail down a photo, to just staying in touch with them, to giving yourself the best foot forward by having all of the information delivered to you at the time you need it, right? I need their name when I'm going into the appointment. I need all of the information because I'm going to sit down and forget something for sure. So that is my sermon for today as far as automating your booking process and automating your follow-ups, reminders. This for me so far is the least amount of work with clients, and I find myself really connecting really well with clients who, even if they want to come into the shop instead of do the Zoom call, like I have so much more free time that I'm not worried about sending each of these messages to each of these people, or like, if I didn't send the reminders out and they don't show up, then I just deserve that, or anything like that, or any discussions with people about deposits or anything, right? You put the information somewhere where the people have to read it when they're going to go to the next step that they want to get to, right? And then in that way, you're controlling the flow of information. You're not flooding them with information. They're getting all the information. They know everything along the way. And everybody's happy. Very low impact once you get past the initial thrust of this part. In your snapshot, I have made most of these workflows. They're done. So what you need to do is make sure that your custom values are right, your policies, your deposit policy, minor policy, touch-up policy, how you like to work, what your FAQs are, what your phone number is, all of that stuff. And then when you set these up, you use those trigger links to fill things out and connect them back and forth. That way, you're getting the exact right information delivered to you at the exact right time. And you're not automating a whole conversation, but you're automating a connection, and you're facilitating the beginning of that conversation when you might be off doing other things, right? But the client is ready to talk. So you have enough of a conversation that's like, hey, we got your form, thank you very much, I'll be in touch. To actually then have the conversation. I have another person that I'm working with right now, and they want a lot of very specific information before they get into something. And but once the information is in, and if the information is right, I can pretty much pick up the phone. So if you text me, if we set up the workflow that, hey, the last piece of information that we asked this person for triggers this other workflow that just sends you the information, and when you click the button, it calls them. And then you just have the consultation right there, because he's doing most of his consultations on the phone anyway. And that might not work for him because maybe he wants to schedule it, but maybe there could be 2 links. Hey, just call this person or schedule the link. And then it's like, I read this, it looks cool. How's it going, man? And, you're in touch. You don't have to worry about anything. You can just leave a message if you want to. There's a million ways to set these things up. I'll help you guys set them up, everybody in whichever way they want, as long as they connect. As far as our shop goes, as long as they connect back and forth real cleanly, then we're good to go. And so that's it for today. It's been a Workflow Wednesday in the Bold Boardroom, and I hope to see you guys on the next one.